And the two organizations that I connected with was San Bernardino Black Culture Foundation. And the reason why I connected with San Bernardino Black Culture Foundation was because of the regular parade that we had on the west side. And I had heard that they had difficulty with trying to get celebs to come out here. And so then, with me dabbling a little bit in Hollywood as I was doing, you know, because Brian would allow me or let me do some entertainment reporting, you know, I started connecting with a lot of celebs on the carpet and started connecting with a lot of the media people. And so then that was a really good, easy fit in regards to helping San Bernardino Black Culture Foundation nab their celebrities for our parade that we had. And then the other organization that I became involved with was with the National Council of Negro Women. And in that organization, mostly the African American women who were trying to really do something for the community, whatever it is, because it's a whole diverse variety of women coming from all types of educational backgrounds and just humble backgrounds, you know. So therefore, it was a rounding out of who do you want to be in life? What do you want to do in life? How am I going to inspire my children? Or how can I inspire this child or any child or, you know, in this community that we serve? And that's basically how it evolved. And how I met Georgia Morris was because she received the Black Rose Award. And I remember watching her story on the big screen because she received the Humanitarian Award. And I could feel like the tear travel through my neck. You know, just come up through my neck, just come up, and the tears just popped out. And it's like you can read stories, you know, about women like this, but here I have one in my community. Oh, you know, this amazing woman. Oh my goodness. And I met her that night when she got that award. And it was like the following week, I set an appointment up with her at her home. And you know how her home, every room in her house was a different culture. There's the Indian room. There was the AKA room. There is the yellow and black room. I'm forgetting the name of her alma mater because she was a diehard of her alma mater. There was the Oval Office where she had 1 trillion, million, billion awards. And then there was the African American room, which was the socializing room. And so therefore, when I went to her house that following week, from that day forth, we became very, 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 very close. And when she passed away, the gift that was given to me, and I can get a little emotional, was a binder of stuff that she had collected from me since our beginning. And it was a fat binder. And on the cover of the binder, she had my name, and she said, Leah Michelle Cash, a success story. And so that was my gift.
Beautiful.
That was my gift from her. All my old articles. I mean, she had been cutting and clipping and keeping and amazing. That was an amazing woman. And and then I had the privilege of going with her back to her hometown and met, you know, her old classroom kids, and you know, they're grown up now. I'm completely forgetting, but it's in Georgia. I flew back with her, and she invited me to go. It was her class reunion, but she told me some stories I'm going to tell you, and so those were my two sheroes that I really latched onto, and that I really feel me loved me and nurtured me. And I think about Oprah sometimes, where she says, you know, where with Maya Angelou, that she sat at, you know, she could like sit at Maya's knee, and you know, and just put your head on her knee and just stay there with all the wisdom that that woman could bestow upon her. But that's the way I feel about Georgia Morris and Dr. Henry. I can put my head on them, on their knee, and just, you know, go into the ugly cry boo hoo, just do and just let them.
Well, now
So
let's talk
they,
about that inspiration that you received from those women
yes.
and how it ties into your work with your nonprofit organization, The Brightest Star.
Star. Well, I wanted to write a children's book, and the children's book that I wrote, The Strawberry Pot, that was inspired by Georgia Morris. And so when I told her my dream, you know, my dream is basically working with abused and abandoned children. It has always been. So she would say to me, well, we need, you know, what are you going to do about that? And because I would talk to Georgia Morris more about that than I did with Dr. Henry. Dr. Henry, I talked more about community stuff, things that were going on in the community, and how you know, we can inspire. And so when I was covering a story for Black Voice, not, I think it was Black Voice. I was covering, it was the Governor's Women's Conference. And there was a lot of inspiration that was going on at that conference. And the a Nobel Peace Prize winner, I cannot think of his name right now, but he was the one who in India had started a small bank with what, $10, $20 with women. He would loan them the $20 for them to be able to find something worthy that they could do with that $20 to help their family, and the whole thing mushroomed. Well, I personally got to meet him when I was doing the story, and I remember him holding my hand and him saying to me, if you got a dream, you know, you should fulfill your dream and fulfill your purpose and your life purpose, and just don't keep talking about it. Just go ahead and do it. So, and I remember on the drive home saying, you know, I have talked about doing The Brightest Star for as long as I possibly can remember. Nobody wants to hear about it even no more. Now is time. If this man with no resources can follow his dream and do it with the bigger picture of an empowering women, I know that my self-esteem building, which a lot of people want to talk about with abused and abandoned kids, is always a sentence or something in a proposal, but they just don't really work on it. I know what I could do. So therefore, I just started really praying about it. And in that prayer, it was to help me, you know, start doing what I needed to do and stay on track with The Brightest Star. And that became history too. Within 3 months, I mean, the nonprofit status came within 3 months. That was almost unheard of because everybody always tells me it takes 6 months to a year. They send it back and send it, you know. I didn't go through none of that. It went right through. So I knew that was a blessing. And then, you know, with going back to school, because I did go back to school at Cal State and San Bernardino, and learning everything that I did there because I got a master's degree in public administration. And then I started working on my second master's, and I completed all the master program in communication, and then winded up finally working on the thesis. So I will have 2 degrees, a master's in public administration and then the master's in communication. And so therefore, with all of that knowledge and all of that ability, I started moving the Brightest Star forward. But it was a lot of hard work. It's very difficult and very easy because 1, when you know it's your purpose, 2, when you know it's fulfilling your dream, 3, and you know that you're changing lives, and then number 4, when you have a support system under you, how could you fail? So that's basically it. So I was mixing and growing in the entertainment world, getting to know all those folks, and then starting the Brightest Star, and my kids are getting bigger and growing right before my eyes, and next thing I know, everything just mushroomed. And how many jobs did I have? Probably like a good 20. Button up in the mall. I mean, all kinds of ways to find ways to financially make ends meet. Did I ever have like that real, you know, grassroots, good job, paying job, you know, where I've been there for a long time? No, that I haven't been fortunate to do that yet, but I have had many jobs, and I have tried to stay in my lane, either with abused and abandoned children or with newspaper reporting.
Now I'm going to ask you, between the work in the community that you've done
Mm-hmm.
and the work with the Brightest Star, can you come up with something that really makes you proud, something that you participated in, some event, some project that just
Okay.
stands out that you'd like to share?
Okay, there's 2 things. I will bring up the Brightest Star one, but the main one of the main ones has to do with the Black Culture Foundation. I was reading the Jet magazine when I saw the picture of Osceola McCartney, the washerwoman. See, it gets me when, just like it hit me with Georgia Morris when I saw her story on screen, that hit me of this 86-year-old woman, no education, quit school to help her mother in 6th grade, and she washed clothes all her life and saved the money, and then donated $250,000, $250,000, to the university so someone else could get an education. Who does that? So then I said, there is no better person on this planet to be our next Grand Marshal for our Black History Parade. What a woman! And I didn't know very much about her. I just started researching stuff about her. And within 6 months, she gets the Congressional Medal of Honor from President Clinton. That all mushrooms. And she's going to drop the year ball. She drops the New Year ball that year. That all mushrooms. And I'm going, I gotta find a way to get to this woman so she could be our grand marshal. So I start calling Ole Miss because she's from Mississippi, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and that's where she donated the money to Ole Miss. And so they turned me over to the PR person at the at the university, and we strike up a conversation, and we become friends first. I tell him what I want to do, but they're not sure of it. It took me, I was calling him like regularly, and over a 2-week process, we became friends on the phone. He started to trust me. And in that trusting, he decided to help us out with getting her here to be our parade. And I remember doing that. When he said, well, because this is her first time when she went to go get her Congressional Medal of Honor, she caught the train.